you. Good morning, everyone. You can talk back to me. I actually need it. I feed off of the audience, so feel free to answer my questions, as I want this to be interactive. Thank you so much for coming out this morning. I'm so excited to be here. I need to know that people here can relate. You see, I hold the most gold medals in the Olympic sport of procrastination. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I know I'm not alone. I know I have some Olympic team members here, so I need to know who is the silver medalist here. Yes, I see the silver medal in the back, but a lot of you came close. What about bronze? Where's my bronze medal people? I know there's some bronze medal people here. Come on. Okay, all right. Okay, so I can tell you that procrastination is fear personified. And every single one of us who has procrastinated, I know that we clapped, it was funny in the previous slide, but the truth is we do it every day. And all of us procrastinators, professional procrastinators, if you're an adult, you have at least a master's degree in procrastination. And you can thank this fear thing, this bear that lies to you. It tries to protect you. It says that it's protecting you. Fear is procrastination personified. It tells you, hey, don't do that thing. It's too scary. Chanda spoke this morning about stories. And fear is really successful in convincing you that it's keeping you safe. And so the truth is, none of us are going to have to face a bear in real life. If you were facing a bear, then fear would be justified in dumping adrenaline into your bloodstream and making you run at speeds that you thought were not humanly possible to get away. And I would suggest to you that if you do see a bear, you do run like this guy, because that's real fear. But most of us don't ever have to face a bear in real life. Most of us just procrastinate. We use procrastination as our preferred method to postpone what we need to do, where we want to go in life. And so if we look at the slide, I'm going to speak from personal experience because I don't want to judge anyone here. I said I was the gold medalist, so I'll speak about myself. One of the things that you need to do that is a key component in procrastinating is you need to separate yourself. You need to go to solid territory. If you look at the slide, and you look at the green at the top, solid territory is where you go to be alone. When you're there, you don't tell anyone about your dreams. You don't tell anyone about your hopes. You don't need to. You're just alone. So no one can keep you accountable. No one can remind you, hey, you remember you said you were going to go to college, or hey, you remember you said you were going to do this or that. So it's necessary for you to go to solid territory so that you can then continue your range of excuses. Because that's what they are. They sound really good, these stories that you tell yourself, but they're really excuses. And then, if you're like me, then you go to snack sector. I have a closet full of clothes that will testify that I spent too much time in snack sector. And then you wake up from your snack and you go to Napland, or you finish your snack, you go to Napland, you go back and forth. But Surfside is the favorite place for people to live. Because, right? So I'm from Puerto Rico. We have beautiful beaches there like you do here. I live in Florida, and I live in Houston. I just love being near the water. And anytime you're near the water, the views are beautiful. It's Surfside. But when you go to Surfside, when you're living in the procrastination, you're looking at YouTube videos, you're on Facebook, you're wanting to know the latest gossip, you're sliding into someone's DM on Instagram, or they're sliding into your DM. But the truth is, and you may even watch the most amazing TED Talks. They're so inspirational. And you're like, yes! After you finish the video, you might even post something positive on Facebook because, you're like the positive Facebook philosopher. You live the most positive life on Facebook, don't you? But then you go to the aisle of I'll get it done. And it's a cycle. And if your life were a GPS device, it would be saying, recalculating. It would try to recalculate you so that you can get back on course to that place where you are achieving your dreams. And the place where you're achieving your dreams sometimes seems impossible to you. Why? Because no one else in your family has achieved such a thing. You don't have any friends that went to college. No one in your family went to college. Your mom is not a college graduate, neither is your dad. You know, you want to be a pilot or a lawyer or a doctor, or you might even want to, sorry guys, this is real live. I'm just going to throw that there. You might want to be a doctor. You might want to write a book, change the world, go on missions trips. But it's so impossible. It just seems like you can't do it. I don't know anybody. I don't know anyone else who did that. And you know, you tell yourself stories that keep you in this comfort zone. But it's really not comfortable there. But again, you went to solid territory, so nobody really knows that you're uncomfortable. The only person that knows is you. When you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning, when you're driving to work and you're like, I hate this job. I cannot go stand to see this guy again, Bob. Or whatever, you know, whatever your boss's name is, Linda. You know, Linda thinks she's funny. She needs coffee all the time. You know, she's not really funny. And you're not comfortable, but it pays the bills. So you fall into this everyday thing. That's where you get that living check to check. And you tell yourself, man, you know, you might even have fallen into that real early in life. You may say to yourself, I have this dream, but I'm too young. Like, how am I going to pursue that? Or, you know what? I'm actually too old now. My kids are growing. You know, the car broke down. We need money to put tires on the car. I can't go paying for a physical trainer. You know, or, you know, I'm married now. My husband or my wife is never going to be okay with me going back to school. You know, what I really need is another job, because I really hate the one I have now. So what I need is another job. I need more money. If I can make a little bit more money, then I can be ready to go back to school. Then I can be ready to go achieve that dream. Then I can go hire a physical trainer. And we tell ourselves that, but that's not where the magic happens. Comfort zones create these walls around us. We're already in solid territory, so that we tell these stories to ourselves and we stay there, not achieving anything. But achievement is over there where the magic happens. You actually have to go over there. And it feels uncomfortable because you're comfortable in your other uncomfortable area. Does that even make sense? It doesn't make sense. You're not really comfortable there. But it's what you know, so it feels comfortable. So let me tell you a story. I already told you guys that I come from Puerto Rico. Yes, there's no Puerto Ricans here, but y'all better clap. And growing up in a Puerto Rican home, my parents taught me really strong cultural values as well as really strong religious values. They were very, very, very religious people. And at the age of 16, I don't know if any of you could see how I could have become a teen mom, because I've always been this extroverted person, so I guess that goes right along with that. But my parents were not very happy that I got pregnant at 16, as most parents would not be happy that this happened, you know, that their child made this choice. Well, my father did what was best for him and said to me, you know what, Linda? You decided to get pregnant. I'm pulling you out of school. You should save whatever honor you have left, whatever little honor you have left, and you should get married. Because if you don't get married, then it's going to be very hard for you to find the man that will marry you with a kid. Because these were his values. They were very important to him. And so remember, I was only 16 at the time. So what happened was, at that moment, my father was successful in transferring a story to me. And I need to know how many of you here have been living a story that someone else gave you, and you have adopted it as if it were your own. Because at that moment, I adopted that story. I'm going to be nothing else but a mom. That's what I need to focus on. And you know, thank you so much. Only one mom here. Awesome. So one thing did not happen though. Even though I adopted his story, my dreams did not go away. I still wanted to go to college. I had really good grades when my father decided that I needed to come out of school. I had really good grades. And so for the rest of my life, 16, 17, 18, 20, 25, 30, 35. My father passed away when I was 21, and it wasn't until I was 36 that I decided to go back to college because the dream would keep me up at night. I would envision myself walking across the stage, picking up a diploma. I would envision myself doing this. Because when I was growing up, I was told, you talk too much, your mouth is going to get you in trouble. But my mouth empowers people. Thank you. And that was a gift that I was born with. And instead of my parents saying, hey, she got that from us, hey, that's a bad thing. Let's stop that. Let's kill that. Let's stomp on that dream. But you can't kill the dream. You can't. You can't. And if you try, you're just going to take yourself to the procrastination that I showed you in a couple of slides ago. And you're going to be there unhappy. Unhappy. So why am I telling you my story? Am I telling you my story because I really want you, oh, Linda's so great? No. I'm telling you my story because up until I went to college at 36, I really didn't know anyone else in my family that went to college. I didn't have any mentors in my own family circle. I didn't have any friends. I took that leap of faith on my own. And so most of us can't relate to stories of success, but the most of us can relate to a story of struggle, a story of pain. And I'm sure you have your own story of struggle and your own story of pain, which is very real. I just want to be able to relate to you today. And this morning, I want to give you permission to leave it behind. Leave your story behind, because it's really not your story. It's the story that someone else told you when you decided that you were going to let them drive that vehicle called your life. When you let people get behind the wheel of your life, you learn to settle. You learn to accept their story. What they told you is what you're going to do. And you know, at first, it feels comfortable when someone else solves your problem for you. My father solved my problem for me. We're going to get you married, and you're just going to stay home. Well, that felt kind of good at the time. Well, that's a problem. It's solved. But when somebody else solves your problems for you, then they drive the vehicle called your life. And then you go to whatever destination they take you to. And they're in control of whatever happens to you and whatever you do. And so that's not a good place. It really isn't. I know that you're listening to me and you can relate. I'm not telling you some story that I read 5 years ago or that I read in some history book when I went to college. I'm telling you my story, which is the same as yours, with just a different character and slightly different variation in the dynamics of it. It really is. I know you can relate. Your life has been recalculating every morning when you drive to work, every night when you take a shower, after you have an argument with that person that you love so much, but you're like, why do we argue so much? You keep yourself stuck in that comfortable place. You got married because you thought, you know what, it's easier to get married. Let me just do this. Let me leave my parents' house, or let me get out of this other problem. If I marry this person, they're working full-time, I'm working full-time. We'll be able to make life. It's better. Two are better than one. I know I'm not the only person here who has ever said that. Two are better than one. Two are better than one. Right? Or maybe, since you're married, well, you have permission to have kids now. So now you have yourself a couple of kids. But you're not financially ready to support them. So you keep yourself stuck in a financial place. Is it impossible to come out of that financial place? It is not. But it is hard, because you put kids on that timeline of your life before you were ready. Or you stay in that bad relationship far too long. Maybe you are really sick. You do have an illness. You had surgery. You do wake up every morning and your back is stiff. That's very true. Or maybe you've developed some eating disorder or a drug addiction or alcoholism or all the other problems that come when you have these addictions and these issues in your life. Health problems, financial problems, and more relationship problems. And you did all that because of fear. All of these things that I mentioned, your marriage, your kids, they're not imaginary, they're very real. But you created all of them. Nobody gave them to you. Nobody forced you. Here, take these kids. Here, marry this guy. Hey, have this food addiction. No, you did that to yourself, and you did it to procrastinate. Because we all need a boogeyman. We need somebody to blame. It's my mom's fault. I'm too overweight. I can't do it because I'm too tired. I'm too old. All of that is just fear. Okay, and today, please take action. Readjust your own life's GPS. Get out of the passenger side. Get out of the passenger side. That's a passive place. And walk around the car. Walk around to the driver's side. Get behind the wheel. Grab it and adjust your mirrors. You know, the rear view mirror, put your lipstick on like I do. Before you start driving, put your lipstick on before you start driving. And take action. Do something different. Go to the destination that you were supposed to be at when those dreams started coming at you when you were 16 and 17. How do you do that? Today, not tomorrow, today on the lunch break. Go to the website and apply for school. Go hire the personal coach. Go buy the course. Get the life coach. Go to therapy. I don't know, lose weight. Whatever it is that you need to do. How do you become an entrepreneur? Google that. Find somebody here locally that can help you. But take action today. Thank you.